Now, look, I like Brendan Fraser. I do. But I feel like these comments, I guess, somewhat misguided. Because it discounts the fact that, you know, this film simply might not have been that great. And apologies for my voice. Apologies. But Batgirl actor Brendan Fraser considers film's fate a tragic setback for studio filmmaker relations. I just don't see it, ladies and gents. I don't see it. And if anything, if the film's cancellation, essentially conjures up a wave of filmmakers not wanting to work with studios, then simply that comes across massively entitled. Everyone got paid for this film. Everyone always jumps in whenever I do a video about this and goes, "Oh, poor actors." Everyone got paid. Michael Keaton got paid $2 million for a glorified cameo. So, yeah. You shouldn't be crying for these people. They got paid. The studio chose to cut their losses and just bin it off. Completely reasonable stance to take from a film that had awful test screening scores. So again, I really like Brendan Fraser. Really, really, really like him. But this ain't it. So his Batgirl, a very unique experience. It's not every day that a major superhero movie you're in gets shelved. In fact, this is the first time, unprecedented, basically. And so he shared his thoughts on all of this. I'm going to dive into that today. But I just want to let you guys know there's a link in the description box to Mr. H Reviews Live Archives. Please do check it out. It's my sort of live stream clip channel. Yes, sure, you might not be able to watch, 2 hours, 2.5 hours of a live stream, but I clip them into individual videos. Check it out. You'll really like it. There are fantastic conversations with fellow creators and industry professionals. So you'll like it a lot. Anyway, shameless plug out the way. So, of course, they just wrapped The Whale with Darren Aronofsky. Fraser relocated to Scotland to play the firebrand of a Batman villain, Garfield Linz, who is otherwise known as Firefly. And that would obviously bring him into the DCU now. It's not called the DCEU. So he was straight off The Whale, a film which he's massively praised for, and then went straight to Scotland to start shooting Batgirl. And obviously he's proud of what he put into this film. And you know what? Good. I have no doubt he would have been great in this film. I genuinely don't. But he spoke to Variety about how disappointed he was in Warner Brothers Discovery's decision to cancel the comic book film without warning. And again, I don't. I like Brennan, but these comments are somewhat misguided. It's tragic, he said. It doesn't engender trust among filmmakers and the studio. But trust works both ways. The studio obviously trusted the filmmakers to make a good film. They didn't, so they have the right to cancel it. People often forget that trust does work both ways. So Fraser carried on with his high praise for his co-star, the leading lady, Leslie Grace, who played Barbara Gordon, calling the singer-actress a dynamo. Leslie Grace was fantastic. She's a dynamo, just a spot-on performer. And you know what? She probably is. But she's not Batgirl. She's not Barbara Gordon. So Batgirl was operating under a tighter budget, although it's still inflated to $90-odd million, which is crazy. They say it's closer to Joker than the Batman, not by much, earning its comparisons to Arrowverse programming. But Fraser was happy to work under practical conditions without the aid of CGI. This is the thing: a actor's experience on set isn't necessarily the experience that matters. If that makes any sense. Now, I will say I agree with him that, working under practical conditions is good. Infinitely going to be better than CGI. As an actor, I can't imagine you're going to want to just sit around on a green screen stage all day. I mean, God, how boring. But he says this, and this is positive stuff. But he says, everything we shot was real and exciting and just the antithesis of doing a straightforward digital or green screen thing. They ran fire trucks around downtown Glasgow at 3 a.m. and they had flamethrowers, which I actually saw. There was some leaked sort of footage of all of that, which was, you know, it wasn't great, but again, better than just a green screen. And I am genuinely sick of sound stages and green screens these days. I've kind of had enough of it. I've been saying every single time, you know, a movie comes out that, you know, it is predominantly those kind of things. I'm just like, goodness me, come on now. Because it's just, I just feel it's a bit lazy. But anyway, Fraser continued and says it was a big budget movie, but one that was just stripped down to the essentials. But that's part of the problem, Brendan, my dude. It was big budget. It's too much. So last month, Fraser said much the same thing to Variety, but also asserted the fans really wanted to see this film made, until it became the canary in the coal mine for streaming releases. And you know what? This is the thing. Like, it is one of those things. It was an unprecedented decision, and it one of those things which they could have just put on HBO Max. They could have done it, but they obviously thought it was so bad that it would hinder their reputation and also the direction that they wish to go. And especially now that we've learned James Gunn is and Peter Safran are in charge of DC Studios, it's very clear that there's a direction that they want to go in, and that could have endangered that. So, you know, I don't blame them. But yeah, they could have just released it. It does. I mean, like I said, it's an unprecedented move. It does seem quite odd. But they say the movie was shot and conceived for a smaller screen. In this age that we've come out of nowhere between we've come out of now between streaming services versus theatrical releases, it wound up being the canary in the coal mine, he said. So yeah, I mean, look, loads of people said it was just bad. You know, loads of people said it was just bad. And in terms of, you know, his sort of role as Firefly, I doubt it would have been the comeback he would have wanted anyway. So, you know, and also this film, you know, like he's going to be, well, I mean, The Whale is basically Oscar bait. So, you know, out of the two films, what one would you actually want? Well, probably, you know, The Whale, not Batgirl. But the thing about the Batgirl film, when he says, you know, it's a tragic setback for studio filmmaker relations, I mean, it's sure, maybe, but that trust does work both ways. You know, the studio entrusts the filmmakers to do a good job, and if they fail at that, then they have absolutely, unequivocally, every single right to can that film straight down into the garbage.